So our next node that we're going to talk about is the workflow trigger. So it is basically used to connect two workflows, a parent workflow and the child workflow. Let's say you have personal assistant agent here, and I also have my sub workflow here, which is this calendar AI agent, and I want them to communicate to each other. This personal assistant agent has tools, access to tools, and one of the tools is the calendar AI agent. So this entire workflow here is a tool to this parent agent. So how do you configure it? How do you connect it? Well, you connect it through this node, which is the workflow trigger node that I was talking about. And then there is it. And there are three options for the input data mode. It has this define using fields below, define using JSON example. My recommendation is for you to just choose accept all data, keeping things simple. And then you go to the parent workflow, and then you're going to add it as a tool. So you click on tools, you click on call n8n workflow tool, and then you describe the tool. Call this tool to take action on calendar. And then you're going to choose the workflow that you want to call. And in our own case here is the calendar agent, you choose it. So the configuration is over. Let me test it and then let me show you how it works basically. So let's say I am interacting with the personal assistant agent here. Let me execute workflow. But one thing I should mention is the sub agent, the calendar agent, should be activated for it to work properly. So let me just test this. So if I click execute workflow and then go to Telegram and then send a test like say, can you check my calendar for next week Wednesday, which is March 4th? And then if I execute it, it is going to run. And it is going to call this calendar agent here. So it calls the calendar agent. And then it sends me a response. Say, okay, on Wednesday you have this. And what has actually happened is when I send an inquiry to this Telegram AI assistant, this ultimate assistant, you see it uses its calendar tools. If we check this calendar tool and we check executions, let's go to the latest execution. We can see that the query came through this node, which is the workflow trigger node. So if you double click it, you see the query that came in. Check calendar for March 4th, next week Wednesday. So from this query, this calendar agent took this query and then it think about the query using the OpenAI chat model, and then it uses one of its tools, which is get event, and then it gets the event and then it respond back to the personal assistant, which is the parent agent. So that is how it works. So all this happened because we have our workflow trigger here that receives the query. So it is very much important for you to understand this node, which is the workflow trigger node.